Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make honey biscuits, which is a very simple 4-ingredient biscuit for dogs, goats, donkeys, and horses. Again, very simple. I have the ingredients set out already for you, and I'll be posting the recipe at the end of the video. So we're going to take our basic stand mixer and put in 2½ cups of whole wheat flour. Those dry ingredients in there first, and that basically is the only dry ingredient for that recipe. We're going to add 2 eggs to this. I'll put this down, start it on just low. Get both of those eggs in there at the same time. You don't need to add them one at a time. We're also going to add 1/3 of a cup of honey. This is raw honey that is found very local for us here in New Hampshire. Mix that in there. That'll add just enough sweetness for the critters to enjoy. I'm not sure how many of you have livestock out there, but the livestock we have here absolutely love sweets. And this is 1/2 cup of water. Get that all nice and mixed. And as that's blending out, you do want to get your cutting board prepared. I just have a wooden cutting board here with some extra whole wheat flour. I'm going to spread that out. We are going to roll these biscuits and shape them. You can also do a drop biscuit if you want. A nice little ice cream scooper is good for that, as are 2 teaspoons, and just pop it on the parchment paper. I do like using a parchment paper lined cookie sheet for the biscuits. It makes it a little bit easier for cleaning, which is really important because you have other things to do with your day. You can also use a silicone mat if that helps. As you can see, this biscuit dough is a little crumbly. I'm going to give it a test and see if we need to add more water. So what I'll do with that here is just squeeze some in, and you can see it's sticking together. So that's actually pretty good. Even though it looks crumbly, it will blend together when we roll it out. Let me get all the last bits I can out of here. Skipper does like to help out. He is in the kitchen with me right now. And he likes to help out with licking the batter and spatulas. Try not to do that too often, because I like to make him wait and get his treats for when he deserves them, from sitting or listening, just being cute. All of our critters are cute. So you just want to roll this out. I'm going to lower the setting on the video so that you can see what this is going to look like as we work it. Right now we have a big mound of dough. You just want to squish that together and knead it just a little bit here, so that we can get it into a good consistency for rolling out. And we love to take care of our critters, whether it's horses or cows, donkeys, cats and bunnies and dogs. But one of the great things about them too is that they're usually not very picky about what their treats look like. So we don't have to be perfect with this, which is sort of makes cooking for your pets a little easier, less stressful, because you really have a low judgment-free zone. If it's something that they like to eat, they'll eat it, no matter what it looks like. And if you have a different case of that, please let me know. I'd love to hear stories about how people are cooking for their companion animals and what their companion animals like to eat and don't like. So feel free to reach out anytime and let me know how that's going. So for today, because we're doing honey biscuits, I like to have them rolled out and in a particular shape. So for today, I'm going to use a shape that's near and dear to my heart. For those of you out there who really know me well, you know that Great Danes are some of my favorite breed of dogs ever. So I have this Great Dane cookie cutter rather, that we're going to use today. But I also have some other shapes that we'll use. So I have some star shapes, and then honestly, a donut cutter that we use for ourselves. So you just roll it out, punch it in really firm, give it a little jiggle, and then pull that out, and very carefully, because this is an intricate cookie cutter, I'm going to just poke it through so that you don't lose the legs of the Great Dane on here. And you can always dip this in flour too, dip the cookie cutter in flour to make it a little bit easier. You can see here we have one Great Dane cut out. And we'll pop this over onto our parchment lined cookie sheet. We'll cut out the rest and put them in the oven at 325 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes and see how they are. Catch you when they're ready. Okay, so our honey biscuits have been in the oven for 325 degrees for 15 minutes at this point. I want to pull them out, show you what they're going to look like, and tell you about the next steps for these honey biscuits. Okay, here's one of our trays of the honey biscuits. Again, 15 minutes in a 325 degree oven. What we're looking for at this point is a little bit of firmness. You can see I'm pressing with my index finger, but it's not making any indentation. So that's perfect. That's nice and firm. That's exactly what we're looking for. Because these are still a little doughy inside, we're going to turn off the oven at this point and put them back in and let the cookies sit in there for 1 to 2 hours to really harden up so we get a nice crunchy honey biscuit for our critters. And now you have an hour or two to make a different batch of different cookies, or to just go out and hang out with your companion animals. We'll see you in about an hour and a half. So it's been about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes in the oven that has been turned off for that amount of time. So let's just give them a look and see how they are. So as you saw, I have 2 sheets of the cookies in here, and the pan's still a little bit warm, so you just want to be careful of that. You can get a sense they're still going to be brown because of the whole wheat flour in here, but when you pick one up, and they should be able to be held at this point without being too hot, and you try to give it a good squeeze, it's going to be really firm, very hard. And that's how you know that they're ready to take out of the oven. Okay. So we have the 2 sheets here. And we do have somebody in the kitchen waiting for these. You're going to see them pop up probably in a minute. As I said, they're still a little bit warm, but they're not too warm to taste test. And the kitchen just smells absolutely amazing. Anytime you're baking home goods, it's just a smell that is just so comforting and just brings you back almost to your childhood in the kitchen with Grandma. My dad used to cook for our dogs all the time, so it's not too odd that we're doing this. The honey is just really making the kitchen smell very nice. It's a good sweet smell. You can add a little bit of cinnamon to it if you wanted to. Someone's sitting here being so good and so patient. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see our official taste tester for these homemade honey biscuits. So this is Skipper. He is 5.5 years old. He's our black-mouthed cur dog rescue from Alabama. And he loves treats. And you're going to be our official taste tester. You ready to have just a little snippet? Easy. That was pretty good. It disappeared. You down. Down. Get back over here and sit. Good boy. I think it is Skipper approved. As I mentioned at the beginning, dogs sometimes are not the most discerning palate, but they are always very grateful for everything that we do for them. It's a beautiful day in the valley. Let's go see if our critters like those cookies we made earlier in the episode. Welcome to Millbrook Valley Farm. Let's get you all acquainted with some of our official taste testers for this episode. Rosie and Daisy are always the most eager taste testers of the group. Let's get some of those cookies out and see if they enjoy them. As you can see, they're very eager to try these snacks. Let's see what we got. What do you think, Rosie? Well, Daisy's is already almost gone. She's crunching away. Rosie's taking a little bit more time to enjoy those honey biscuits. I think they're a hit. Honey biscuits, loved by the donkeys. Okay, folks, now we're going to try the goats if the donkeys don't come in and try to weasel away too much. We have Marvin and Lily and Sarah, and of course Rosie here trying to weasel in on the treats. So we're gonna take a pause and see what we got here. I hope you enjoyed cooking for your critters with me today, making our honey biscuits. Have a great afternoon. See you next time. Bon appetit. Yeah? Bon appetit.